Guys, first of all, good luck to Andy and the boys again. Hopefully we get another W tonight. Big game for us, so best of luck in Vegas. Another good day for us out here. Can't get enough of these days. Wish you could have 100 of them. But right now we're focusing on just getting through our base installation of first and second down game plan over the first 3 days. We'll work a little third down on Saturday and get our first full pad practice on Saturday before taking spring break and then coming back for 4 weeks. Injuries, just a new significant injury, not significant, but enough to hold out, was Josh Amoribebe had a shoulder injury, so we limited him today. We'll probably limit him on Saturday and then reevaluate after spring break. We pulled Pi Young and Jacob Daniel out, Pi for a groin, Jacob for a hamstring, and then Jake Russell for a hip flexor. With that, I'll answer any questions that you got.
You can go full pants Saturday?
Yeah, so by NCAA rule, you have to have 2. It's different than your fall acclimation period. In spring, you have to have 2 basically jersey helmet days, and then you're free to open up to full pads. So the first full pad practice will be Saturday.
Is that like a scrimmage situation?
No. We'll have our first scrimmage the following Saturday, Scott, when we come back. Practice 6 will be the first one. And hopefully we'll get 3 of those situations in spring to evaluate some competitive-like atmosphere, hopefully in the Coliseum. Let some new kids be able to experience that.
Elijah Tucker was included on the roster.
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to be participating in spring?
Yeah, right now he's doing our walkthroughs in the morning. He is doing meetings in the afternoon. But while we're out here, we're allowing him to focus on academics to gain his eligibility back. Obviously, if he doesn't get his eligibility, it doesn't matter anyway. So we're really focused on him being allowed to do that. But he's going through our walkthroughs, he's going through meetings, and then in the afternoons, extra study hall.
So we won't see him then.
Won't see him out here this spring.
What about John Plattenberg? Is he?
Yeah, John. I'm sorry I didn't mention that yesterday. You know, that's been about a month ago. After the Rose Bowl, he suffered a concussion in the Rose Bowl, and because of medical situations, he's chosen to just concentrate on academics and go ahead and pull away from football. Great kid. He's done so much for us. He's a Trojan for life. Absolutely love him, but he'll finish out and get his degree, and he's got a special place in our heart.
We've seen Michael kicking a little bit today. Obviously, with the absence of Matt, he's going to be dependent on for those duties. What have you seen from him kicking so far in the offseason?
Just one day out here thus far, but what you see is a kid with a powerful leg that needs to become consistent, just truthfully. One shot he looks like an all-pro, and then the next one it's a little bit offline. Reminds me of my golf swing. So we got to hone him in. But as far as talent-wise, you feel the ball pop off his foot a lot like Matt does. Matt was able to rein that in last year. Kind of reminds me of where Matt was with Bax when Bax first came in. So we've got a lot of work to do there. But I was really impressed with how the ball pops off his foot and the distance he was able to kick from. He was making them from 45, 50 yards today. So we just got to rein him in a little bit.
Can you kind of assess where Jack's at and expectations for him?
Yeah. I mean, I know y'all can see the confidence that the kid has is very impressive. He's not acting like a rookie. He's kind of in his element right now because he's got an opportunity to compete and fill some big shoes. And in the first 2 days, he's made some big plays out here. A couple interceptions, a couple breakups. Where he's going to have to be good, finalizing being good, is a deep ball. He takes some chances and got caught a time or 2 today, but his competitiveness is really shining through. And hopefully at some point in time we'll get to look at him on offense too.
Is there any value to him having played opposite Big E in high school?
I think that the best thing for Jack is he gets to learn from Big E, to be honest with you. That learning experience he got from what I consider a true pro in Big E, I think is valuable. It got him to this level along with him being talented. But now he gets to learn under a big brother again in Big E right here. And even last year when he was in a role player, Big E had him under his wing the whole time. And I think that's paid off. He's showing signs of being a big-time player for us. So looking forward to seeing how he progresses.
What did you think of Jack Sears when you saw film Tuesday or even today's
Just a kid in his first practice that has arm talent, but got to learn the system. Anytime you come into a pro style system with a lot of shifts, a lot of motions, a big playbook, it's going to be something that's a learning process. What was evident is his poise, arm talent, and now we just got to. It takes a little time to learn that playbook and get comfortable with it, but early on, very impressive. It'll be a nice competition between him and Matt Fink. Both kids are competing nicely.
Last year, you had a veteran offensive line, I don't know, average 325, 330 pounds. Now you're going to have a younger offensive line, probably like 295. How does that change your offense?
It's funny you asked that, Dan. I was talking to Cam, and I said, what'd you see from the offensive front? He said, Coach, they're quicker. He said they're getting to the second level quicker, size-wise. It's hard to replace Zach Banner. That's about as big as you get. But the quickness factor is really evident. One thing I've been impressed with that jumps off is the athleticism of Roy Hemsley right off the bat and what he's doing. Chuma's athleticism obviously is evident. We've seen that before, but they look like a quicker line right now at about 285, 290. They'll fluctuate between that 290, 300, but they're looking very quick, and I'm impressed with some of the young kids. Andrew Voorhees right off the bat doesn't look like a kid that should be at prom right now. I mean, he's doing a nice job. So there's some young kids that are stepping up. Got a long way to go there. Obviously, those are 3 good players we lost, but it's neat to see their quickness right now. That's a good observation. Talking to both Nico and Toa, I told them both the biggest thing for us and the value of the guys that we've recruited over the past years. You think of Max Turk. Max started at tackle, guard, center. Well, that's why we signed Nico. That's why we signed Toa, because we envisioned those guys to be able to play in each and every position. The best player, the guy that can actively do center the best, will be that player. And then you got to find your best 5, and then one of them's got to move out and either be a guard or tackle for us. So we'll look at both kids once they're healthy, see who's playing the best at the time, and then be able to put one at center and hopefully one at another position. Obviously, they're 2 of our better players. We're going to need both of them to play.
He doesn't look like a freshman, but what has Coach KU told you, and what have you seen from Marlon so far?
Extreme strength and quickness. He's picks up the system extremely well. I've been impressed with all 5 freshmen that are here right now. Just how focused they are, attention to detail, and really very well coached. He's not a raw kid. Fundamentals of technique he already has, and he's learning the assignments. And then you see his size. I mean, a 305-pound man that moves like he does, that's pretty impressive.
Beyond Deontay Burnett, have any of the receivers made an impression thus far?
Yeah, I've been impressed with Tyler and Mike thus far on the outside. And I tell you, we had a great day today with Velus Jones. You can see the speed just go by them, and to be able to, whether it's putting him deep, handing him the ball in space, throwing him the ball in space, you can see what he can do yards after catch. He's going to be a dangerous weapon, and hopefully will provide some speed, kind of like Adoree did in that facet. But excited about him. He did some nice things today.
Because Deontay is, that returning guy, and he's been in the slot, is he somebody that you kind of have to prepare to play multiple positions?
Yeah, you saw that today. We're working Deontay both inside and outside, because one of the things you see when you look up and you see Daniel Amortabebe, and you see Tyler Petit, and you see Kerry Angeline, sometimes your best personnel group may be 2 tights, and being able to flex one tight end out. Well, instead of taking Deontay off the field, you can just put him outside. So he's working both inside and outside when we're trying to get the 2 big tight ends in there.
If the offensive line is quicker next year, does that mean the play calling can be more varied too?
Yeah, it's a good observation, Scott. I think a great coordinator always does what his personnel can do. Obviously, if you're all 330 pounds, you're probably gap scheming and mauling people. When you're very athletic like you are, in outside zone married with inside zones, very good. So, and we have a good outside zone runner in Ronald Jones. So those are things that I think T and Neil do a really good job of saying, okay, hey, this is what our personnel does really well. let's adapt to them. Let's just don't make them maybe do something they're not accustomed to, or maybe it's not their strength.
Do one more.
All righty.
Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate it.